Welcome to Secrets Out Idaho. Each week, we let you in on the secrets of Southern Idaho and speak to the people who make it such a unique hidden gem. I'm your host, Connie Stouffer. On today's episode, we'll be talking to professional bareback rider and modern-day cowboy, Kash Wilson, on growing up on a farm in Gooding, Idaho, and life on the professional rodeo circuit. Kash Wilson, thank you for joining me on Secrets Out Idaho. I'm really excited to talk to you and learn about being a cowboy and kind of what life is like for you in Idaho. So welcome and thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here and can't wait to talk about the area.
Perfect. So first, I'm just really excited and I'm really fascinated to learn more about being in rodeo and doing all of that. I was looking at some of those videos of like bareback, rodeo, and I was curious, how does someone even get into that? Because it seems so dangerous and so intense that you can't just like throw somebody on a horse and expect things to go well. How did you get into it?
It's definitely unique. The way I got into it was different than most, but most people, they just grow up in like a cowboy family or a Western family and just something that they end up trying in high school or something. But I first started because of a bet actually in high school.
Yeah.
I rodeoed when I was younger, but I got away from it because I wasn't that interested, and I just rode motorcycles and played sports. And my junior year in high school, my buddy bet me I wouldn't do it at a high school rodeo. And then he bet me I wouldn't make state that year. And then after that, like, it became my life. It's my full-time job now, and yeah, it totally changed my life.
So you won that bet in the end, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when you started out as a kid in rodeo, like what do you start on? You start on like ponies or like little things, or how does a kid get started in rodeo?
I started when I was 17, which in like bareback riding, they usually wait till around that age because it's the most physical event. Mm-hmm. But as far as when you're beginning, you don't get on ponies, you'll just get on horses that I would say don't buck as hard,
mm-hmm.
more friendly, so you can kind of learn it for a while, and you slowly just work your way up the ranks. There's high school, and then college, and amateur, and then professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's that like being a professional in rodeo? What's a season look like for you, or what does that entail as far as going out and doing these professional events?
Well, the season, it starts in October, but the rodeos don't really kick off until January. And during the winter months, they're all in the south where the weather's warm. So you'll go down there for like 3 months, and then as the year goes on, it migrates back up this way. But yeah, you go to probably 100 rodeos in a year.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. In July, I think there's like maybe 7 days you have off the whole time.
That's pretty physically intense considering how intense it is, I guess, being on those horses and doing all that and having so many events back to back.
Yeah, staying healthy is definitely a big thing, and we travel in groups. Like there's 3 of us that have a truck and camper, and we just go everywhere together for a year, and yeah, just rack on a lot of miles and see a lot of country, and it's a pretty good life.
Yeah.
Play a lot of golf.
Yeah, so golfing's your other thing you like to do?
Yeah, we love to golf. Believe it or not, a lot of people wouldn't think that any rodeo cowboys golf, but yeah, we go golf every day we can.
That's awesome. I think that's one of those stereotypes that when I think if you're not from the West and you didn't realize that there were modern day cowboys, you wouldn't know like they also might be out there golfing or riding motorcycles or... Yeah,
or if you're a cowboy, everybody automatically associates you listening to like Western music and stuff or country music, and I don't even listen to country music.
Yeah, so when you guys are on the road, you're listening to different sort of stuff?
Oh, yeah, we listen to everything. A little bit of alternative, rock, rap, whatever.
Keeping it entertaining on the road?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So tell me about, so you grew up in Gooding, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so tell me about your family and growing up in Gooding and what that's been like.
Gooding's, it's a unique town. It's a small town. There's like 3,000 people. You know everybody. You leave your doors unlocked. It's a good community to raise a family in, huge ag community. And I've always been involved with ag and construction because my family owns a construction business and 2,000 acres that we farm. So whenever I'm home, I stay busy with that. And that's what I plan on doing after I get done rodeoing. And yeah, if you're ever in the area, don't be afraid to swing by Gooding. They have a pro rodeo in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just won the Remuda Award, so it was one of the best rodeos in the whole United States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, it's definitely a fun event to go check out if you're in the area, even if you're not into rodeos or you want to go watch the first one.
Mm-hmm. So you're a young guy, and so planning on staying and living in Gooding, was that always your plan?
I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a long time. I kind of wanted to get away from Gooding, and then the older I get, the more I like it. And the more I've been around, I realize this is a pretty good place to grow up, and not just Gooding, just the whole Twin Falls area. It's clean. You don't have to worry about anything. Your kids can go out, and yeah, I like it around here. And the older I get, I think I'm going to stay here.
That's awesome. I know a lot of people talk about, like, how do we keep our youth here? And sometimes it's letting them go out and see what the rest of the world looks like before they realize it's a pretty special place here.
Mm-hmm. I do know that a lot of people that, like, I went to high school and grew up with, they don't live around here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe they'll move back after they've seen it's not as great out there wherever they are.
Yeah.
So, Gooding Pro Rodeo, one of the best in the country. What makes a good rodeo?
I would say the energy, like the crowd and stuff. Like, they sell it out every night, and 3/4 of those people don't know anything about rodeo. They're just there to have a good time, go hang out with their family, maybe have a drink or two, or take the kids over to the carnival. And yeah, they just make everybody feel welcome, and everybody has a good time. And yeah, just have to see it for yourself, I guess.
So a bareback ride is it's a short span, right? So how long is like a good ride?
Every time you're timed for 8 seconds, and then there's 2 judges, and each judge they have 50 points for the horse and 50 points for the cowboy.
Oh, so you get points for the horse too?
Each judge has 25 points. So 25 for the cowboy and 25 for the stock.
Huh.
And you're judged on how much of control you're in and how well you spur the animal, and then
so there's style points as well as time points, right?
And then the animal is judged on like how hard they buck or the difficulty.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, usually like a good ride is from 80 to 90.
That's crazy. That's so much. I mean, it's such a short time. 8 seconds isn't that long of a time, but it's when you see people doing it, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so intense. Like, I couldn't imagine the force that your body goes under riding those horses in such a short amount of time. Yeah,
like before I ever did it, you wouldn't think that 8 seconds sounds that long, but that's the longest 8 seconds of your life. Like, you'll prepare for an hour getting ready and always going to the gym and stuff, and that 8 seconds when you're done, you are spent. Like, every ounce of your energy is gone, but
yeah,
I don't know, it's worth it. There's no better feeling in the world when you get off one and just know you did your job and things work out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're also training in the gym too. So how does a cowboy train for doing rodeo?
Mainly, I wouldn't say like lifting weights and getting big, because that's kind of your enemy. You want to be limber and fast. So we do like a lot of kettlebell workouts and body weight stuff and reps, and just staying in shape to kind of prevent injury. But I guess, as you could imagine in rodeo, I mean, you're going to get injured. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that adds to like the tension and excitement as you're getting on that horse and not knowing how that 8 seconds is going to go.
Yeah, especially when you're first beginning, and then after a while you just get used to it. I don't know, it's a hard thing to explain unless a person's done it, I guess, but your body gets used to it, and it's more excitement rather than nervousness when you get farther down the line. But yeah, it's an indescribable feeling, that's for sure.
That's awesome. So if somebody is just moving out west and they want to go see a rodeo, what should they look for if they're like trying to decide, or if you have any suggestions? Obviously the Gooding Rodeo is a really good one for them to check out. What's another one maybe in the area or somewhere that you would really recommend for people to check out if they're new to seeing rodeo?
In the fall there's Twin Falls County Fair, and it's pretty good, and I know they have concerts every night, and it's right over there in Filer. And Jerome also has one. a couple weeks before Gooding. And then Burley has one as well, and they're all pretty good to go to.
That's awesome because they're all close together, so you could have like a whole, whole summer of rodeo. And
I'm not biased, but Gooding is the best one I promise you.
Well, I mean, they won that award, so I mean, it's definitely a good one.
And like rodeo, and there's guys from all over, and they will make sure that they go to Gooding, whether they have a good horse or not. They just want to go there to hang out because it's a good atmosphere. Yeah.
So when you're riding, do they pick is it your horse that you're riding, or is it a horse that's kind of like drawn at random for you?
They actually, it's drawn at random, and they tell you a week ahead of time.
Oh, so then sometimes when they tell you, you're like, oh, I know that horse needs trouble, or like...
Yeah, like you can get on the internet and you can look them up and see their stats on every out they had and stuff. Mm-hmm. For the most part, there's probably like 50 contractors in the U.S., and then it's all the same guys, but they just have different rodeos, so you go from one stock contractor to the other, but it's not uncommon to get on the same horse every now and then.
Huh. Is that good? So you kind of know what to expect a little bit, or is it sometimes
depends on how the horse was?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nice knowing, but sometimes it's kind of nice not knowing too, because then you're on your toes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's fun. So your family also farms as well, right? And so tell me a little bit about growing up on a farm in Idaho.
Well, my stepdad and his twin brother, his twin brother runs the farm and he runs the construction. So growing up, I more was involved with the construction, but lately I've been getting into the farming more and stuff as they're getting older and wanting me and my brother to step up a little bit. But I enjoyed it. It's awesome. I mean, you don't have to worry about anything. Go out on the property, go fishing, whatever. And I definitely respect my parents for making me work when I was younger, because I don't know, it seems like nowadays that's kind of hard to find kids that work and stuff. And yeah, I'm glad that they made me do that when I was young, because it's paying off now.
Yeah, I bet. So if there's somebody that's thinking maybe they want to move out and have that farm lifestyle, what is that like? What's a day in the life of an Idaho farmer, an Idaho cowboy?
Well, get up and see what you got to get done. Most of the time I'll go.
Are you always, when you came in, you told me you got up at 2 a.m. Is it always 2 a.m. or is that just today?
No, that was today because it snowed and we have the contracts around town, like for the hospital and everything, to plow it out.
Okay.
So. Because
I know farmers get up early, but I was like, oh, that's super early.
And my dad and my uncle are gone right now, so yeah, I was stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. Day. So the day, so you start off early and you're out there.
It's not really a set day. I mean, every day there's something different. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the summer, as far as the farming, it can kind of be slower, but in the fall when the harvest hits, it's pretty much 24/7 for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And then wintertime, it's just maintenance and downtime. Mm-hmm. Kind of same with construction. Kind of gets slower during the winter, but there's always stuff to do around here, especially with such a big ag community and the dairies and everything.
So what kind of construction do you guys do?
We do a lot of concrete and excavation.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And I bet it's been busy. The area's been growing a lot, so it's probably been keeping you guys busy.
Yeah, we've been really busy. We had a good year, and yeah, had a lot of jobs, and everything went pretty good.
Yeah, so I bet you're busy all the time between construction, farming, rodeoing, all of that. So
yeah, and whenever I'm home, I'm always working. Even though some days I wouldn't mind sitting at the house, I'm glad my parents made me go out and stay busy.
Mm-hmm. So when you're not super busy, what do you like to be out doing out in Idaho?
Besides golfing, I grew up riding motorcycles, so I really enjoy riding motorcycles. There's a lot of good areas around here to go.
Like trail riding or like motocross, yeah.
Yeah, I never did much of the track stuff, but we'd go up to like Fairfield or down in Glens Ferry, and there's a lot of different off-road places you can go ride with your friends, and yeah, it's a good area for that.
That's awesome. That's one of my husband's favorite things, and part of the reason why we moved back is because there's so many good trails for dirt biking in the area.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So Fairfield, Glens Ferry, any other good places people should check out if they're into riding the trails?
Hagerman, a place called Pipeline. It's kind of like a desert area, but there's a lot of hills you can climb and stuff. And Paradise is the one down in Glens Ferry. But for the most part, we'd always go camping with our friends up by Fairfield or up above Sun Valley and just
like in
ride
the
the trails
sawtooths up there.
Yeah, or like Smiley Creek or Warm Springs. Yeah.
Smiley Creek's nice too because there's that restaurant there and you can get some good cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, it is.
That's always our favorite spot to stop for breakfast when we're up there.
Yeah, my stepdad, he has a Cessna, like a little 6-seater plane, and we used to fly up there and go have breakfast on Sunday morning sometimes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice Sunday morning. So for maybe people who haven't ever been out west, like what's something that you think they should check out when they're out here, or something, a reason that makes Idaho special for people?
As far as like Southern Idaho, if you're into fishing or just seeing like good scenery, I mean, you can go down this canyon for miles and not see the same thing. Like Hagerman, there's so much fun stuff to do around there, and I know they're one of the big places as far as fish and rainbow trout around here. And yeah, there's a ton of stuff to do. It's just a matter of if you want to find it and go do it, I guess.
I think that's part of what makes Idaho a little special is there's not necessarily like a sign that tells you like this is awesome over here. You gotta kind of have to dig a little deeper to find the good stuff.
Yeah, and most of that stuff you're not having to pay money to go do. I mean, stuff out in the wilderness that you can go do yourself. Yeah.
So what's the career like for a rodeo cowboy? Like how long have you been, so you've been rodeoing for how long?
10 years. I'm 27 now.
27 now. So what's on the horizon? What's kind of the big stuff that you've got looking forward?
Well, last year I was having a good spring, and then I injured my shoulder in the finals at the rodeo in Reno. And so I just stayed home the rest of the year, and I figured I'd get healthy for next year and trying to make that NFR, which is a finals rodeo at the end of the year in Vegas for 10 nights. And it's a top 15. And if you're in this, like this, that's your dream.
That's the Super Bowl
That's the Super Bowl for rodeo, but I wouldn't say being there's your dream, but being a world champ. And yeah, it's definitely an experience. The two guys I travel with, they both qualified for it right now. They're both top 10 in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they do the same event that you do? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's unique about rodeo is the guys you compete against, my best friends are all my competitors. I'm closer with the guys I rodeo with than my high school friends. And I mean, we root each other on, and you watch one guy be a bunch of points and he's right there back there helping you after he gets off, hoping you're a pile of points. So that's the one thing that's unique about rodeo.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because most times when you're a competitor against somebody, you wouldn't be helping them out. You wouldn't be traveling with them. You'd be trying to one up them. And I know there's still that competitive nature, but it still sounds like it's kind of a family.
Yeah, and like you'll be going on the road for a couple months at a time sometimes, and yeah, there's 3 of us, and we compete against each other every single time. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome, and you get to see a lot of country and meet a lot of people. Yeah. So is that what you love most about rodeo, or is there like something that's kind of keeps bringing you back? I love it all, I guess. It can wear on you. You got to be mentally tough, not just as far as the riding, but being on the road and driving so much, it can wear you down pretty easy. Like over the 4th of July, I think one year in a week we drove 6,000 miles. Oh my gosh, that's like across the country and back. Yeah, like you get off in one place, get in the pickup, and you wouldn't stop. You'd drive 24 hours, just enough time to pull into the next and get on and do the same thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, or get on like 2 years ago in St. Paul over the 4th of July. It's a big rodeo. We rented a helicopter and they picked us up in the arena and flew us to the other one. And we had CBS Sports was there. And helicopter filming us and stuff. And yeah, there's just experiences like that that are pretty unique. And you know, it's kind of hard to describe, I guess. But yeah, I bet that was pretty awesome to get picked up right in the stadium from the helicopter and fly off to the next thing. Oh yeah, and it was the 4th of July, so fireworks are going off. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So what are some of the other events that, if someone goes to a rodeo, what's some of the other events you might see or that are kind of the coolest ones for someone to check out? The main events, there's 3 rough stock and then the rest are timed event.
So tell me what rough stock is.
Rough stock is like the bucking bulls, bucking horses. It would be bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, and then bull riding.
Okay.
And then the timed events are team roping, tie down roping, bulldogging, and barrel racing.
What's bulldogging?
Bulldogging is they let a steer out, and there's a guy that would be on the opposite side of him, and he hazes him, is what they call it, which just keeps him close. And they'll be going about 30 miles an hour, and he's got to jump off his horse and grab the steer by his horns and throw him to the ground.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, that one scares me. Yeah. That's for sure.
That's another one of those things I'm like, how do you even get started with that? Like I can't imagine being like, okay, just jump off and catch him.
Yeah. I did it in high school for a while, but it wasn't my forte.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you guys farm and so you don't have cattle or anything on your farm, or do you?
We used to have cattle, but not enough to where it was a big operation, and we ended up getting rid of them and putting more of our time into other stuff. So the events that are in rodeo, is there like a direct correlation to something you have to do, like that you'd be doing day to day, or are they more kind of stylized sports that are kind of? Now it's more stylized sports, but where it originated, it was. Back in the day, it was people from the ranches that would get together and have a competition with each other of everyday cowboy stuff. And then it's evolved into what it is now as a sport and stuff. Yeah.
So are there any events that are kind of still that historical kind of...
Like the tie-down roping. They rope the calf and then tie them down. They used to do that like to treat sick calves and stuff out in the desert or wherever, if you can't put them in a pen. But yeah... And then, of course, bronc riding and all that, breaking horses and taming them, that has to go along with it. And so how did you pick the event that you wanted to do when you were in high school and your friend bet you? Like, was that the event that he bet you went to, or were you thinking, like, that's the one that you wanted to do? I don't know. It was actually kind of random.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't ever plan on doing it again after that first time. I was just doing it for the bet, and then changed my whole life pretty much. Yeah. And that's what I do for a living now. Yeah. If you would have told me this is what I would be doing back then, I would have told you were crazy.
Did you have something else in mind that you thought you'd do as a career?
I didn't really know yet. I was going to go up to U of I and join a frat for a couple of years and do that deal. And I ended up going to Blue Mountain Community College in Pendleton. They paid for my school. But
they have a big rodeo program there, right?
Yeah, it's one of the top ones in the country. Yeah.
And so what is rodeoing like in college? What's a college program look like? Is it like a lot of training and events too, or is there?
Yeah, you'll have they'll put you like on a class, like a college rodeo class or a workout class or whatever, and then you have practice every night. And then there's usually like 10 college rodeos, and they're pretty fun because you can imagine a bunch of college kids being in the same town for the weekend. Yeah. But everybody can go to them, and then the top like 10 people will be on the points team. So what they do counts for the actual team, and then they get it paid for and stuff. Oh, yeah. Awesome. And then there's a college finals, like that's what you work towards, and it's in Casper at the end of the year.
And did you go to that one?
Yeah, I've been to it twice, and then the high school finals a couple times, and Rodeo Houston, like as far as professional level, that's a big one. It's top 40 in the world, and it pays $50,000. There's concerts every night.
And you were at that one too?
Yeah, you get to see Pitbull and Chris Stapleton, all of them right in front of you. Yeah, it's pretty cool experience. So where are you? Where's
the highest rank that you've been in the world as far as rodeo?
I've been in the top 15 early on in the year, and then as far as year end, I think I was 32nd a couple of years ago, but the last 2 years I kind of been...
Because you've been hurt?
Riddled with injuries. 2 years ago at San Antonio, I tore my ACL and had to get surgery on it and sit out a whole year. And had my elbow rebuilt. And that's why I've been home training. So stay healthy this year.
Yeah, but the top 40, that's still like a pretty huge accomplishment, especially for someone who didn't have plans on being in rodeo.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. I didn't think I would rodeo for a little. Like out of college, I would go to rodeos, but it wasn't my job.
Mm-hmm.
It was something I did on the weekends, but I wasn't making money at it.
Yeah.
And my buddy, he was one of the top guys in the world at the time. He's like, hey, I'm going to start entering you because you can make it. And he showed me that I could. And then after that, it just kind of took a hold, and it just gets better and better.
That's awesome. So this winter, are you still recuperating from your injuries, or will you be entering in this spring in some of the rodeos?
Oh, I'll be entering, yeah. Should be going to our first one in about a month in Denver.
Awesome.
Denver, Colorado. It's the National Western Stock Show, and it's a pretty big one.
Mm-hmm.
Big ones like that, they'll pay $12,000 to $15,000 to win.
Wow.
Yeah, so
big money to have to enter in each of those.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be won.
I'm trying to figure out like the hourly wage when you 8 seconds, $15,000. Like that's a pretty good.
It's good when you're winning, but if you're not winning, it can be expensive. Could you imagine buying flights and traveling to 6 different towns in a week?
Yeah.
And not to mention your fees are usually a couple $100 a piece.
Yeah, it adds up.
Yeah, but I mean, you can in a day win $10,000, but
yeah,
at the same time, it can go the other way.
And you've been putting all that other time into training and driving and all that stuff too. So you got to factor all that in.
I would have to say the biggest thing I don't think that people realize is the driving.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it. The 6,000 miles, that's a lot.
We have a truck with a custom rodeo camper on it and stuff, and we live out of that thing. But
yeah,
I don't know, you get used to it and kind of get hobbies and stuff along the way.
So all three of you in that camper?
Mm-hmm.
That's close. I feel like you guys have to be really good friends.
Yeah, they're my best friends, and it's hard to find traveling partners that you can be around that much.
Yeah.
But once you do, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Travel the U.S. with your best friends and have fun and make money while you're doing it.
That sounds like a pretty good gig.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, the hidden secrets. So this is all about sharing those secret spots in Idaho, and you've already shared a few for us, but is there anywhere else that if someone's coming to Idaho, or maybe they live in Idaho but they haven't been here for very long, that they should definitely go check out, whether that be in Gooding or somewhere else in Southern Idaho?
I like going up the Sun Valley. I like snowboarding. I ski too, but I
that's another thing I wouldn't have that stereotypical cowboy. I wouldn't see you out snowboarding, but
I love snowboarding. Besides the rodeo day, you wouldn't think I was a cowboy.
Yeah.
Just seeing me on the street, but no, kind of got me on the spot here. But
sorry.
No, there's plenty of stuff to do, and down the canyon are some of the nicest golf courses. Mm-hmm. Last year, me and my buddy took me out on a boat down there, and we were fishing, watching the base jumpers jump off of there, which those guys are crazy. I see them do it all the time, but yeah, it's pretty much how much ambition you got to go out and find something to do. You can find whatever you want to do. There's great hunting around here, fishing. I mean, it's all here.
Yeah. The base jumpers is something that there's been a number of times when I've been driving across a bridge and someone jumps off, and it's kind of an unnatural experience seeing someone jump off a bridge because you want to be like, no, stop. But, they've got helmets on and their parachutes and stuff, but it's just something you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah. Those guys are crazy. I don't know how
they probably think you're crazy, though, because when I see some of those videos of guys riding those bareback horses, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You'll have people tell you you're crazy, and it'll be someone that does an extreme sport or something.
Yeah.
Something that I would never do, but I guess it's different for everybody.
You get your adrenaline in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else I haven't asked you that people should know about being a cowboy in Idaho, or things that they should definitely check out?
Don't be afraid to come out to the rodeo. If you hear there's a rodeo going on in your area or anything, come on out. The people at rodeos are always friendly, and the more people, the merrier.
Yeah.
Whether you're involved with rodeo or not. I mean, you're going to have a good time and bring your kids and stuff. And
they'll show you the ropes, literally, on what a rodeo's like.
Yeah, they'll show you the ropes.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Kash, thank you so much for joining us on Secrets Out Idaho, and we're looking forward to following your career this next year as you're out there, and wish you all the best of luck.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for listening to Secrets Out Idaho. You can follow Southern Idaho Economic Development on social media or visit southernidaho.org to learn more. Please take a moment to leave a rating and review and subscribe so you can be the first to hear more Secrets Out Idaho. Until next time.